Hello, welcome to our concert tonight. My name is Scott Mertens. I'm the Sycamore Middle School Band Director, and we've got a wonderful evening of music planned for you tonight. This first song is actually kind of three folk songs in one. It's written by Frank Erickson, who's written a lot of great works for both middle school and high school band. We'll do grab a baton in just a second, and then we're going to play English folk song Fantasy. Apologize. I'm not conducting that. I'm so flustered right now. The person who's going to be conducting this song is somebody who has done an absolutely fantastic job working with your young children. He is a student teacher from Illinois State University, originally from Galesburg, Illinois, and he has been working with these students for quite a long time. He's been here since January, and I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage Mr. Kyle Barshinger. For our next piece, a slight change over here. In between, I just want to remind everybody, marching band, we are going to start working on marching band music tomorrow. We're not just going to sit back on our laurels and enjoy our concert like we normally try to do the day afterwards. We're actually going to get to work tomorrow. Hand out the new music. We're going to be marching in the Memorial Day Parade on May 27th. In order to get to the point where we're going to sound good, we we'll need to be practicing with music, and when we practice outside, that necessitates, at least originally, that we have lyres and flip folders. I've sent a couple emails out recently If you need a paper copy, I can get that out to you as well. Seventh and eighth graders have already been through this before for most of them, so many of them already have their stuff. The seventh graders, though, most of them do not, unless they have a sibling who's played their instrument. So it's very important. We're really trying to get everybody by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week to have what they need so they can go outside and start marching with music. So we are going to try to play Memorized for Memorial Day Parade this year. But in the meantime, we do want to be using the music so we have a chance to learn that. So the seventh grade is going to play one more piece, and then we're going to bring up the eighth grade. They're going to play two pieces, and then we will combine for extra special pieces. So this next one is, I've told these guys, one of our goals as an ensemble, we want to create emotional landscape for you, but what is it we also like to do? Scare little children. We like to scare little children, yes. This is what we do. And hopefully we'll scare a few adults with this song. And you'll know why in a second. You'll know how we'll do it in a second. The name of this is Apparitions. Mr. Jacob Kavanaugh on piano. There will be a very brief changeover, and we'll welcome the 8th grade to the stage in just a second. Thank you. While we're getting ready, a couple things. We are still planning on doing our Six Flags trip, which is a huge success last year. You should be receiving some information on that very, very shortly. Ticket prices last year were a little above $50. We're going to try to keep it around there, maybe a little bit less, hopefully for this year. As of right now, we have a commitment from my former director of bands at University of Missouri, Mr. Dale Lannis, Dr. Dale Lannis, I should say, who's in demand worldwide, literally worldwide. He often does conducting clinics in Israel and Europe. And anyway, he's going to be coming in to work with our 7th and 8th grade groups on May 18th. It's Saturday. We're going to do a clinic at 9:30, and then soon after that we will eat lunch, and then we'll head on some buses. You will be getting that information very shortly. Yeah, so there are a couple more things that we'll be talking about as we go on tonight. As far as other things, we'll go ahead, NCJC, many of these students, and we'll go ahead and just right now, those of you who are involved in NCJC, go ahead and stand up. That's the music festival on May 8th. Go ahead and stand up. Yeah. This is a music festival. It's sort of by invitation. It's also by need. So, if we need more of one instrument, less of another, it kind of affects who we can send. But it is made up of students from DeKalb, Sycamore, Belvedere, Burlington, and Rochelle. So we have a lot of really strong musicians from all of those school districts coming together. And that's going to be on May 8th. And if I seem a little flustered tonight, it's because I've been working very hard as far as organizing this festival along with a number of other things. So I'm stalling a little bit. We have one instrument we're trying to procure. In the meantime, by the way, on our program right here, I apologize for the messed up date. However, on the backside, these dates are correct. All of those should be correct, and hopefully most of the names are correct as well. So it'll be a brief pause, and then we'll welcome our student teacher, Mr. Kyle Barshinger, back to the stage to direct one of the classics of wind literature, Overture for Winds by Charles Carter. And now, without further ado, Mr. Kyle Barshinger. this time, we're going to bring both the 7th and the 8th grade up on stage. We're going to take a little second to get reset, and we'll be right back with you. Thanks. Excellent. They all found their places. Most of them have stands. We're all right. There's some band pieces that they're great pieces and they're classic, but they really work best in either a festival setting or a larger band setting. You know, 40 is a good size for a band, but occasionally you get these pieces and they got these lush orchestrations, and it's like, you know what, this is a neat piece for this group to do, but it'd be even better if they were like twice the size. So fortunately, we have pretty talented 7th and 8th grade groups. So the last few years I've been programming pieces that can be done by two groups, both of those groups at the same time. This song is another classic of the band literature. It's Kentucky 1800. before I play our last piece of the night. Again, I want to thank Mr. Barshinger, not only for doing a wonderful job student teaching, but for sitting in. I found out very recently that one of our students was going to be in Vegas. So Mr. Barshinger volunteered to step in and play some of these parts and do a fantastic job with these guys. I want to again thank the administration, Sycamore Middle School, also the teachers. Like I was saying, I would like to thank the teachers and the administrators of Sycamore Middle School, Mr. Clavin and Mr. Franks. Again, thank you for making music such an important part in your lives and your children's lives. These guys have shown a tremendous amount of growth in a lot of ways from the beginning of the year. So that's a huge compliment to them. Again, thanks to our administration. Thank you to the auditorium staff, who I have neglected to thank as much as I really need to. They did a wonderful job helping to get this rather complicated setup going for us today. So again, thanks to them. For our last piece of the evening, it's become sort of a standard that we've done every year. I'm just like, why do I do it? This is so much work. It's so hard to get them to sound good. And then they pull it together. And then I'm like, okay, that's why we do it. So this is Pirates of the Caribbean. That was fun. That's why we do this. So anyway, thank you very much for coming out tonight. Thanks to also Garth Anderson and Ken Goodman, the rest of the band staff here at Sycamore Middle School, Sycamore School District. We're going to need some help getting some of the percussion equipment back, but for the most part, they're free to go. Thank you very much. Thank you.